All right, let's start by unmuting the microphone. Hey, everybody. Just getting everything set up here. Give me just a few more minutes. Here we go. See people already piling in. This is all good sign. So one thing I'll say, excuse me, this is going to be put out. Right, let's start by unmuting the microphone. Hey, everybody. Oh, let me do that. We got a little echo here. And we don't need CC. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Oh, no. I've got freaking announcements turned on. Hold on one second. I really hate this about Discord is it defaults to all notifications enabled. And so if you don't go through and turn off every single one of these that I'm clicking right now off screen that you can't see, all you hear is boo-doop, boo-doop all day long. It is the worst notification system ever. I mean, I like having all these notification options. The fact that they default to the on status is unacceptable. Okay. Unacceptable. So I got all the notification sound effects turned off. That should be good for us for today. So yeah, this is going to be edited. So like this part now that you're hearing will not be in the video, but we are going to edit this down into a video. I'll try and make it less than 10 minutes. It depends on how long these people talk, you know. So what we want to do really is we kind of want to get your thoughts before we begin. Does this work? All right, Notepad is working. That's doing good. Facecam is working. Look at that guy. I'm so happy. Oh, man. What am I doing with my life? How did I get here? Why don't we start with that question? How did this all begin? Well, I got tired of working a real job. That was the first motivating factor. Oh, no. Oh, here we are. Are we muted? We're muted. All right, so how's your bandwidth? Bandwidth looks good. No drop frames. Okay, yeah, we're looking good here. All right, so yeah, all this beginning part, this part you're watching live right now, never going to be seen again. Nope. I'm deleting this shit. Oh, I can't cuss either because we're on YouTube. Doggone it. Oh, the rules. But like, we'll be answering questions before, which what we're going to do now. I'll also, if they say anything interesting, which hopefully they will, we'll talk about that at the end, and then we'll edit all that down for YouTube consumption. So this is my notepad. So what do we think is happening today? We expect 3 to 5 Virginia subs to start the AUKUS deal. All right. How am I going to do this? Okay. You know what we might do? If you guys can behave yourselves. Okay. And my volume is, yeah, I'm not peaking yet. I could turn it up a little bit. Could do it. Yeah. Okay, test. Yeah, I don't dare go any higher than that. Wow, testing. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're good. I just need to learn to speak into the microphone like an adult, you know. All right, so do I like your chat over there? I kind of don't. I kind of don't like that. How about over here? I need to learn to make the chat bigger so I can read it. Okay. I guess we'll just look at it this way. All right. So, boy, we got a lot of people in here. So, welcome, everybody. My name's Aaron. I run the Subbrief project. And so just to get some housekeeping out of the way, if you want to support me, I need you to go to patreon.com/subbrief. And you can subscribe there for as little as $1. Yeah. And that'd be like a little token of, hey, I support you. And I would appreciate that. This is how I make my living, so I do that. All right, so the next one is going to be 2 astutes. I pretty much shot this one down immediately, but we're going to leave our options open. 2 Astutes sold to, yeah, just, there we go. No sense in repeating ourselves. The third option is what we're thinking is going to happen is SSNR. SSNR, that is the next generation UK submarine. So this is a next gen UK sub. But this is a 2035 plus. So that's really long term. The United States has a similar program because we're always innovating. But we call ours, we call ours SSNX because we got to be a little bit different. X for experimental. A lot of ship classes, like the Constitution class, had FFGX as its name until it was given a proper name. So SSNX is going to be, it's already funded. So they're already like designing SSNX, but we're going to say 2030 to 2035. That's when SSNX is going to come online. Somewhere in those 5 years, we're going to get Hull 1. Oh, here we go. Are we starting? I think they're just running a test. Look at all these sailors. I don't want to cover up her face. Okay, there's no audio yet, but that's fine. Hey, Jock Cop, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. He's your guess is Aussie gets 2 to 3 fast attacks, maybe Astute. Yeah, I think they're going to get. I think they'll get 3 to 5 Virginias. That's my guess, and we're all going to know here shortly. They're still getting things set up. The mount they have this camera on is flimsy as hell. You can see it bouncing in the wind. Hopefully they fix that. There we go. This is a better camera. Oh, they got the Virginia in the background. Little foreshadowing here. Oh, yeah. The Prime Minister of Australia, he's going to turn around and be like, we'll take a couple of these to go. Maybe he'll ride back to Australia in a brand new submarine. All right. Matt Miller, how's it going? If I start reading names, we're going to be reading names all day. So forgive me if I don't read out your name. A lot of Aussies are here in the chat. Great to have you guys. You guys are getting a great submarine. This is a win-win, and not like in the sales pitch way. It is like for real. If you get the Astute, that's an awesome submarine. If you get the Virginia, especially like a Block 4, oh, you guys are fine. You really don't need a Block 5. I don't think the Block 5 is as good. Yeah. That's my opinion. Oh, yeah, I got to wear these headphones. This is the only way I can hear what's going on. Oh, I just heard someone cough. That wasn't me. So, I don't know what their volume level is going to be. We'll find out when it starts. All right. What else we got in chat? We have a lot of people. Like I said, Ozzy's here. He says, can you order subs for Uber Eats? You know what? In honor of today's meeting, I did order a sub sandwich. Uh-oh. How's your volume? Oh, she's the signal person.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, accompanied by the Prime Minister of Australia and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
You guys can hear it okay? I bet you the president gets tired of hearing this song, because everywhere he goes, they play it for him. Whoa. You guys need to feed your minister a sandwich, man. He's looking skinny. I do like his tie, though. I'm a big fan of the straight down tie. That's my style.
Please, if you have a seat, please take it. It's an honor to be here to welcome Prime Minister Albanese and Prime Minister Sunak. And it's my honor to welcome you both to the United States as we take the next critical step in advancing the Australia-US-UK partnership, AUKUS. It's an unusual name, AUKUS, but it's a powerful entity. You know, when our countries first announced AUKUS 18 months ago, I'm not at all sure that anyone believed that how much progress we'd be able to make together and how quickly we'd accomplish it. And I want to thank the members of all of our teams who helped bring us to this pivotal moment sitting in front of us. Thank you all very much. Secretary Austin, Secretary of the Navy Del Toro, thanks for letting us come to your house. Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Gilday, where are you, Admiral? There you are. And thank you for hosting us at the Naval Base of Point Loma. And I also want to thank Representative Joe Courtney, founder of the Bipartisan AUKUS Working Group, and all the members of the Congress who
Thanks,
are here
Goldilocks.
today.
I appreciate that. And Michael,
You are
thank you very much.
a testament to the strong and deep support for this partnership across the United States. Australia and the United Kingdom are two of America's most stalwart and capable allies. Our common values, our shared vision of a more peaceful and prosperous future unite us all across the Atlantic and Pacific. For more than a century, we've stood together to defend freedom and strengthen democracy and to spur greater opportunity in all our countries. I've always said, when asked, the United States is a Pacific power, because we're on the Pacific Ocean. We are a Pacific power. The United States has safeguarded stability in the Indo-Pacific for decades to the enormous benefits of nations throughout the region, from ASEAN to Pacific Islanders to the People's Republic of China. In fact, our leadership in the Pacific has been the benefit to the entire world. We've kept the sea lanes and skies open and navigable for all. We've upheld basic rules of the road that fueled international commerce. And our partnerships have helped underwrite incredible growth and innovation. So today, as we stand at the inflection point in history, where the hard work of enhancing deterrence and promoting stability is going to affect the prospect of peace for decades to come, the United States can ask for no better partners in the Indo-Pacific, where so much of our shared future will be written. Forging this new partnership, we're showing again how democracies can deliver our own security and prosperity, and not just for us, but for the entire world. Today, we're announcing the steps to carry out our first project under AUKUS, developing Australia's conventionally armed nuclear-powered submarine capacity. And I want to be clear. I want to be clear to everyone from the outset, right off the bat, so there's no confusion or misunderstanding on this critical point. These subs are powered, not nuclear-armed subs. They're nuclear-powered, not nuclear-armed. Australia is a
Thank God he
proud
didn't get that backwards.
non-nuclear weapon state and is committed to stay that way. These boats will not have any nuclear weapons of any kind on them. Each of us standing here today, representing the United States, Australia, and Great Britain, is deeply committed to strengthening the nuclear non-proliferation regime. We've undertaken this project working hand in glove with the International Atomic Energy Agency and with Director General Grossi. Australia will not produce nuclear fuel needed for these submarines. We have set the highest standards with the IAEA for verification and transparency, and we will honor each of our country's international obligations. Working together these past 18 months, we've developed a phased approach that's going to make sure Australian sailors are fully trained and prepared to safely operate this fleet so they can deliver this critical new capacity on the fastest possible timetable. Each of our nations is making concrete commitments to one another. We're backing it up with significant investments to strengthen the industrial bases in each of our countries in order to build and support these boats. By the way, this partnership is going to mean an awful lot for good-paying jobs for all workers in our countries, including a lot of union jobs. There's a reason why not everyone has nuclear-powered submarines. Nuclear propulsion is a highly complicated technology that requires years of training to master. So we're starting right away. Beginning this year, Australian personnel will embed with U.S. and U.K. crews on boats and at bases in our schools and our shipyards. We'll also begin to increase our port visits to Australia. In fact, as we speak, the nuclear-powered sub USS Asheville is making a port call in Perth as we speak. And later this decade, we'll also be establishing a rotational presence of US and UK nuclear-powered subs in Australia to help develop the workforce Australia is going to need to build and maintain its fleet. One of the vessels you see behind me is a Virginia-class nuclear-powered submarine, the USS Missouri. Top-of-the-line submarines are the vanguard of U.S. naval power. And excuse me for a point of personal privilege, as they say in the United States Senate, where I spend a lot of time. These submarines hold a special place for the Bidens. My wife, Dr. Jill Biden, is a sponsor of the USS Delaware, a Virginia-class submarine, and she never lets me forget it. They feature cutting-edge propulsion technology, provide unmatched stealth and maneuverability. And with the support and approval of Congress, beginning in the early 2030s, the United States will sell 3 Virginia-class submarines to Australia with the potential to sell up to 2 more if needed, jump-starting their undersea capability a decade earlier than many predicted. But the ultimate goal isn't just selling subs to Australia. It's developing something new together. We're calling it the SSN AUKUS, this new state-of-the-art, conventionally armed, nuclear-powered submarine that will combine UK submarine technology and design with American technology. And I want to reiterate, again, the SSN AUKUS will not have nuclear weapons. It'll become a future standard for both the UK Royal Navy and the Royal Australian Navy.
It's a whole new class.
It'll meet Australia's defense needs while bringing our militaries, our scientists, our engineers, our shipbuilders, our industrial workforce, our countries closer together.
That's huge.
Closer than ever.
Holy shit.
Let me emphasize again, nuclear propulsion is tested and safe.
I don't know if that's a good
United
idea.
States and the UK have used it for nearly 70 years.
Huh.
With spotless record, a spotless record. Combined between U.S. and UK, all of our nuclear-powered ships have traveled the entire globe, around the entire globe, more than 150 million miles. That's gone to the moon 300 times. Now, we can't figure out how to get this sub to the moon, but we're working on it. And I've got to admit, our stewardship of naval nuclear propulsion technology is a point of honor, pride, and deep tradition, currently helmed by Admiral Frank Caldwell, who is here today. Where are you, Admiral? Thank you. And the years of training we're undertaking starting now will ensure that Australia is fully prepared to carry on this tradition and meet the highest possible standards of safety throughout the life of these boats. Our unprecedented trilateral cooperation, I believe, is testament to the strength of the long-standing ties that unite us, and to our shared commitment of ensuring the Indo-Pacific remains free and open, prosperous and secure, defined by opportunity for all, a shared commitment to create a future rooted in our common values. That's the objective the United States shares not only with the UK and Australia. It's shared by our friends in the region, by our friends in ASEAN, the Pacific Island Forum, and the Quad, and other treaty and close partners in the Indo-Pacific and Europe. AUKUS has one overriding objective: to enhance the stability of the Indo-Pacific amid rapidly shifting global dynamics. In this first project is only beginning. More partnerships, more potential, more peace and security in the region lies ahead. Simply stated, we're putting ourselves in the strongest possible position to navigate the challenges of today and tomorrow, together. So I thank you again, Prime Minister Albanese, Prime Minister Sunak, and the United States could not ask for two better
I think he
friends and
missed on
partners
both those names, but I
stand
can't
with
criticize him.
as we work to
I wouldn't have got him right either.
more peaceful future for the people everywhere. I'm proud to be your shipmates. Thank you.
Oh, look at him dropping the shipmate line. I want more details, but we'll see what happens.
Well, President Biden, Prime Minister Sunak, I am so honoured to stand alongside you both, here overlooking the Pacific Ocean as leaders of true and trusted friends of my country of Australia. Today, a new chapter in the relationship between our nation, the United States, and the United Kingdom begins. A friendship built on our shared values, our commitment to democracy, and our common vision for a peaceful and a prosperous future. The AUKUS agreement we confirm here in San Diego represents the biggest single investment in Australia's defence capability in all of our history, strengthening Australia's national security and stability in our region, building a future made in Australia with record investments in skills, jobs and infrastructure, and delivering a superior defence capability into the future. My government is determined to invest in our defence capability, but we're also determined to promote security by investing in our relationships across our region. From early in the next decade, Australia will take delivery of 3 US Virginia-class nuclear-powered submarines. This is the first time in 65 years, and only the second time in history, that the United States has shared its nuclear propulsion technology, and we thank you for it. We are also proud to partner with the United Kingdom to construct the next generation submarine to be called SSN AUKUS, a new conventionally armed nuclear-powered submarine based on a British design and incorporating cutting-edge Australian, UK and US technologies. This will be an Australian sovereign capability, built by Australians, commanded by the Royal Australian Navy and sustained by Australian workers in Australian shipyards, with construction to begin this decade. Australia's proud record of leadership in the international nuclear non-proliferation regime will of course continue. We will continue to adhere to all of our obligations under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and the Treaty of Rarotonga. Our agreement unlocks a set of transformative opportunities for jobs and skills and research and innovation in Adelaide and in Barrow-in-Furness, in Western Australia and here in the United States. Opportunities that will shape and strengthen and grow Australia's economy for decades and create around 20,000 direct jobs for Australians from many trades and specialisations. Engineers, scientists, technicians, submariners, administrators and tradespeople. Good jobs with good wages, working to ensure the stability and prosperity of our nations, our region, and indeed our world. Our future security will be built and maintained not just by the courage and professionalism of our defence forces, but by the hard work and know-how of our scientists and engineers, our technicians and programmers, our electricians and welders. For Australia, this whole-of-nation effort also presents a whole-of-nation opportunity. We will work with the state governments of South Australia and Western Australia to develop training programs that equip Australians with the skills they need to fill these jobs. Working together, our universities and research institutes will collaborate to train more Australians in nuclear engineering. We are already sharing skills and knowledge and expertise across our borders, lifting the capability and capacity of all 3 countries. Already, today, Australians are upskilling on nuclear technology and stewardship alongside their British and American counterparts. Already, today, there are Australian submariners undergoing nuclear power training in the United States, and I'm proud to confirm, Mr. President, that they are all in the top 30% of their class.
That's actually
Built
pretty
by
impressive. That's a tough
innovation
school.
and extraordinary and emerging technologies, these boats will present a unique opportunity for Australian companies to contribute, not only to the construction and sustainment of Australia's new submarines, but to supply chains in America and in Britain. The scale, complexity and economic significance of this investment is akin to the creation of the Australian automotive industry in the post-World War II period. And just as the vision of my predecessors, Curtin and Chifley, in creating our automotive industry lifted up our entire manufacturing sector, this investment will be a catalyst for innovation and research breakthroughs that will reverberate right throughout the Australian economy and across every state and territory. Not just in one design element, not just in one field, but right across our advanced manufacturing and technology sectors, creating jobs and growing businesses right around Australia, inspiring and rewarding innovation, and educating young Australians today for the opportunities of tomorrow. Our AUKUS partnership is not just about the US and UK sharing their most advanced submarine capability with Australia, although we do appreciate that. It's also about building on the expertise within our three nations so that we can achieve things greater than the sum of our parts. This is a genuine trilateral undertaking. All three nations stand ready to contribute, and all three nations stand ready to benefit. I look out from here today and I see new frontiers in innovation to cross, new breakthroughs in technology to achieve, a new course for us to chart together. Mr. President, Prime Minister, for more than a century, our brave citizens from our three countries have been part of a shared tradition of service in the cause of peace and sacrifice in the name of freedom. We honour their memory today. We always will. While we respect and honour the past, through AUKUS we turn ourselves to face the future, because what the United States, the United Kingdom and Australia hold in common is more fundamental and more universal than our shared histories. We are bound above all by our belief in a world where the sovereignty of every nation is respected and the inherent dignity of every individual is upheld, where peace, stability and security ensure greater prosperity and a greater measure of fairness for all, and where all countries are able to act in their sovereign interests, free from coercion. Our historic AUKUS partnership speaks to our collective and ongoing determination to defend those values and secure that future, today, in the years ahead, and for generations to come. A journey that will strengthen the bonds between our nations, as friends, as peers, as leaders. We embark with great confidence in the capacity and creativity of our people, with optimism in the power of what our partnership can achieve, and with an unwavering conviction that whatever the challenges ahead, the cause of peace and freedom that we share will prevail. Thank you very much.
He's a talker. But hey, these guys are politicians. It's what they do. Let's give them their moment, and then we'll talk about what they said. All right.
60 years ago, here in San Diego, President Kennedy spoke of a higher purpose, the maintenance of freedom, peace, and security. Today, we stand together, united by that same purpose, and recognizing that to fulfill it, we must forge new kinds of relationships to meet new kinds of challenge, just as we have always done. In the last 18 months, the challenges we face have only grown. Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine, China's growing assertiveness, the destabilizing behavior of Iran and North Korea, all threaten to create a world defined by danger, disorder, and division. Faced with this new reality, it is more important than ever that we strengthen the resilience of our own countries. That's why the UK is today announcing a significant uplift in our defence budget. We're providing an extra £5 billion over the next 2 years, immediately increasing our defence budget to around 2.25% of GDP. This will allow us to replenish our war stocks and modernise our nuclear enterprise, delivering AUKUS and strengthening our deterrent. And our highest priority is to continue providing military aid to Ukraine, because their security is our security. And we will go further to strengthen our resilience. For the first time, the United Kingdom will move away from our baseline commitment to spend 2% of GDP on defence to a new ambition of 2.5%, putting beyond doubt that the United Kingdom is and will remain one of the world's leading defence powers. But ultimately, the defence of our values depends, as it always has, on the quality of our relationships with others. And those alliances will be strengthened through AUKUS, the most significant multilateral defence partnership in generations. AUKUS matches our enduring commitment to freedom and democracy with the most advanced military, scientific, and technological capability. Nowhere is that clearer than in the plans we're unveiling today for the new AUKUS submarine, one of the most advanced nuclear-powered subs the world has ever known. And those plans could not happen without cutting-edge American technology and expertise, so I pay tribute to you, Mr. President, for your leadership, and to you, Prime Minister, for your vision of what AUKUS can achieve. And for our part, the UK comes to this with over 60 years' experience of running our own fleet. We'll provide the world-leading design and build the first of these new boats, creating thousands of good, well-paid jobs in places like Barrow and Derby. And we will share our knowledge and experience with Australian engineers so they can build their own fleet. Now, our partnership is significant because not just are we building these submarines together, they will also be truly interoperable. The Royal Navy will operate the same submarines as the Australian Navy, and we will both share components and parts with the US Navy. Our submarine crews will train together, patrol together, and maintain their boats together. They will communicate using the same terminology and the same equipment. And through AUKUS, we will raise our standards of nuclear non-proliferation. This is a powerful partnership.
That's huge.
For the first time ever,
I don't know if he meant to say that.
Fleets of submarines working together across both the Atlantic and Pacific, keeping our oceans free, open, and prosperous for decades to come. Joe, Anthony, we represent three allies who have stood shoulder to shoulder together for more than a century. Three peoples who have shed blood together in defense of our shared values. And three democracies that are coming together again to fulfill that higher purpose of maintaining freedom, peace, and security now and for generations to come. Thank you.
With the permission of my colleagues, I don't know whether our friends can hear.
Who gave Joe a microphone?
USS Missouri, can you hear us? I see them all over there. They're standing at attention. Can I tell them at ease? I'm their commander-in-chief, right? I mean, anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the best. You're the best. And we're going to be the best in the world, the three of us. Thank you all very, very much.
Well, that's it. Okay, cool. I'm very glad that that did not last as long as I thought it would. So we're just going to quickly, here at the end, pause this. There we go. This is available on the White House YouTube channel as well, of course. There we go. All right, so made a couple notes here. I did not know that his wife was the sponsor of the Delaware. That's kind of cool. You know, kind of cool. All right, so here's what we learned today. We did confirm that 3 Virginias will be acquired immediately, or who knows how long that's going to take, but 3 Virginias are going to be sold to Australia. That's the really big news. So, and then there's an option for 2 more as well, total of 5. So that leak that came out on Thursday was the accurate one. The one about the Astutes, not even in the equation. So I'll just, I'll take that information on going forward on who's giving us good information and who's not. Something that really did surprise me is that I thought that if we gave them or allowed them to use a Virginia, we would lease it to them. But at no point did anyone mention a lease. Biden mentioned that we are selling them, and the Australian Prime Minister said that he is acquiring them. So the combination of selling something and acquiring it tells me that they're going to permanently own these submarines. They're not leasing them like some people had speculated. So this is not a lend lease. This is you're buying a submarine, you get to keep it. Their crews are already training. That's actually been happening for a while. I don't know exactly when the power school starts, but power school for nuclear power is 1 year long, 1 calendar year. So they might have been in this power school for the past 9-10 months. You know, we have been showing them through demonstration how to load the submarine. We've parked Virginia class submarines. I forget the port name, so it doesn't matter. And we had our teams load torpedoes and tomahawks into the Virginia while the Australian Navy guys watched. And so that's just part of the training that goes into this. And I think that's really when we began to know there's going to be a Virginia involved in this deal, because they're getting specific training on how to load weapons on the Virginia class. So that had been going on for a while here. The IAEA, that's the nuclear power regulatory thing. So we've always known this, even though people misreport this all the time. This will not be a nuclear armed submarine. They're not going to have any nuclear weapons whatsoever. They're just going to have a hot rock that makes steam, and that rock is radioactive in the engine room, and it's going to make the propeller go around. And that's it. So nothing more than that. That's really not a surprise at all. What did floor me, and I still can't believe this, but this is what they just put out, is that it's going to be a British design. And that's great, because I think the Astute was ahead of its time, which is their current submarine. So they're designing a new submarine. It was called SSN-R for, I guess, research. But now they're going to make it the SSN-AUKUS, and the SSN-R is going to become the SSN-AUKUS, is what the Prime Minister said. I did not expect that at all. I always thought the SSN-R, because it would be nuclear weapon capable, would have its own designation. But according to what the UK Prime Minister just said, the UK is designing and building the SSN-AUKUS until they can get Australia up to speed to build their own. And the UK will operate their own SSN-AUKUS. He said it will be the same submarine that they're producing for Australia is what the UK Royal Navy will be operating. That wasn't even a possibility. Nobody was speculating that. So that's huge news. Now, we'll see if the Prime Minister comes back with a correction, because technically he could have just stated that the new UK submarine will not be nuclear capable. And that's not something you generally announce or really even do. Once you're nuclear capable, you remain that way. Yeah. So that might have been just poor wording, but what he literally said was SSN-R is now SSN-AUKUS. And there's no time frame on that. So we know that they're getting 3 Virginias for now, and we'll see how long that takes to get the Virginias over there. Crews are already in training. They're going through power school, which is the big thing. Both officers and enlisted go through that pipeline. It takes a full year, and then you need to get some experience. Part of that pipeline is hands-on training, but I would imagine that they're probably going to sail with UK and well, especially American powered, specifically the 9G reactor, which would be the Virginia class, they're probably going to go underway a lot with our Navy, our submarines, and operate that reactor under American supervision on American boats before they go and operate on their own. That is cool. I wonder if they need an old retired sonarman to help them train sonarmen. That would be a fun little project of mine to help these up-and-coming sonarmen out. I don't know. Let's see what you guys say in chat. I'm not going to bring chat onto the screen because we've got a couple knuckleheads here. I see you guys have sufficiently whipped the knuckleheads. I appreciate that. All right. Hey, also, I saw a lot of super chats go by. I didn't want to interrupt the speech, so I just want to say thank you for the super chats. Unfortunately, they do fall off my screen. Let's see if I can find them here. Robbie says with a super chat, U.S. Sensor Suite or Thales. Well, if it's a British design, it's probably going to be Thales. Probably. Yeah. They didn't really get into specific systems, which is good. Where's that other super chat? Oh, no, it's gone. Okay, I'm sorry. There were more super chats, and it scrolls off, and I can't. Yeah, I apologize for that. Anyway, thank you guys for the super chats. I really do appreciate it. We'll see if anybody has any interesting. I don't have to wear these anymore. There we go. All right. What do you guys have? Drive Turkey going to be sending out CVs? I honestly would love to be a part of their training pipeline. I really would. But there's probably better people to train them because I haven't done it in so long and technology changes. So, I mean, obviously the fundamentals of sonar are the same, but I'm sure a lot of it's changed since I did it. So I don't know if I'd be the best person. I still love to do it. Don't know if I'd be the best person, you know. Let's see, Harold Bishop as sub-commanders. Okay, long live the PLAN. Mark, oh no. Oh no, Mark, are you here? Are you on Team China? Oh man, you guys. Let's see. Abe says, from what I know, SNR is expected to enter service around 2040. Really? So, yeah, you know what? If they didn't do any design work up to now, and they started on paper designing the SSN AUKUS today, I could see that taking 15 years. Yeah, to get the first one built. But I bet you they have a lot of work already done. Like, this has been an 18-month project, you know. Hey, Jock's back with another super chat. He says, Navy Outlook has a great article with details. Awesome. You know what? Maybe I'll feature that in the next naval news, because I haven't given Navy Outlook any love in a while. And they were a very good publication, like one of the top. So you're thinking that the Rolls-Royce BAE is going to be the reactor? See, that's an interesting difference. Is the S9G is which is the American reactor, is very different from the BAE one. And we really can't talk about that, but just know that it's not the same. So if they're learning the S9G and they're going to the American Power School, that's great for the 3 Virginias that they're going to get, but it may not apply to whatever the SSN AUKUS is going to end up, unless they're not going to use the same reactor. That's not the thing. Hey, Goldilocks Productions, this is your second super chat, so I appreciate that. He says, I'll summarize my super chat. I was basically asking if you would do a breakdown of the Iowa-class battleships from commissioning to decommissioning. Wow. That would be a huge video, because those ships went through many different phases, ages. They literally went from World War II through the missile age into the modern era. As you said, decommed in 2011. That's a good idea, though. I like it. I'm not going to commit to it because my schedule's full for this calendar year. 2023 is full. So anything new is 2024 on, you know. So, but that is a good idea. I like that. What else we got? Oh, so AUKUS accelerates a sonar, puts development into turbo. I would think that, you know, I bet you we see something, an update at least on SSN AUKUS, you know, within a year or two, you know, something with a more concrete timeline. That's what I would expect to see. And also, how long is it going to take them to get 3 Virginias, right? Maybe we sell them one a year. if we build 3 Virginias a year, which is what we're paying for, and by the way, we can't build 4 because we don't have the shipyards for it. So if we build 3 and sell them 1, we're down to 2 a year again. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a matter of cost at that point. We're not increasing the number of Virginias that are in the world. It's going to be the same number. They're just not all going to be the United States, I guess, after this deal. All right, Liam says it sounded like the UK and Australia is almost become one fleet. Yeah, well, if they're going to operate the same submarines, that's a big part of it being the same fleet. I was really hoping that they would, go with the Virginia class. Well, I take that back. I keep going back and forth on this. The Virginia is literally a multi-role submarine. It can do it all. It's a jack of all trades. It's a Swiss Army knife of submarines. The Astute, and I bet you the next one, the SSN AUKUS, but if we just look at the Astute by itself, that is a submarine hunter killer. It's what it does, and it does it very well. I would argue better than the Virginia, despite the Virginia having some really nice tools. The Astute does one thing, and it kills submarines. And that's the kind of mentality you want on your submarine, fleet, But unfortunately, here in the United States, we've gone with this jack of all trades design. So in a lot of ways, for the purposes of Australia, I think the going with the British design is probably better because it's more focused than the American design, which is build a submarine that can do anything that the president wants at a moment's notice. That's why you got all those VLS tubes on it, What else do we have? Wow, item 69 says, I got here late. Okay, well, welcome. What is the TLDR of what happened? Okay, yeah, let me just wrap this up, sum it up for us, is we are selling for sure 3 Virginia class submarines to Australia as soon as they can build them, okay? There's probably one on on blocks right now being constructed somewhere that's going to end up in the Australian Navy. That's the first thing we learned. The Australian sailors have been in the American Nuclear Power School for up to a year. We don't know exactly how long. Something they didn't talk about, but we already knew, is American submarines are visiting Australia and doing weapons loads to show them how to load the torpedoes onto the Virginias, which is a big part of it, The second thing we learned is that the UK's next generation submarine called SSN-R is going to be renamed SSN AUKUS and become the permanent replacement or supplier of the Australian Navy. So that's what they're going to do. And the UK and Australia are going to operate the same submarine. That's breaking news. Nobody even suggested that might happen. But that's really freaking cool. And it makes sense from like a supply side. You have the same submarines, the same parts, the same training. It really makes sense to operate one submarine class amongst allies. Unfortunately, it's not the Virginia, so maybe we'll end up with an SSN AUKUS. Now America, we'll always build our own. Yeah, we're not going to do that. But think of Japan. Japan would be a great candidate for this SSN AUKUS. I would not be surprised if Japan eventually applies for and gets a deal like this. Yeah. Where else would this be good? France builds their own stuff, so does Germany, and Germany's deathly afraid of nuclear propulsion, so they would never do it. But think about Sweden, Norway. Norway could afford it. I don't know if they would want it. Because of their geographic location in relation to Russia, they really don't need a nuclear submarine. The geography just doesn't demand it the way Australia demands it. Australia is 1 million miles from everywhere, so they need nuclear power to get anywhere fast, long distance. I don't know, what do you guys think? Canada? Do you think Canada would buy a nuclear submarine? South Korea is a really good answer. South Korea has money, plenty of money. They also have the infrastructure to support it. Is South Korea a nuclear power? I think they have, literally power, not weapons. I think they do have nuclear power plants. So there's probably already an infrastructure there. Yeah, that's a good idea. Japan and South Korea getting an SSN AUKUS. Here's the deal. We got to build out the infrastructure to build these things. He started listing, UK shipyards that I didn't recognize. these shipyards might be mothballed. Who knows how long it's going to take to get those production lines up and running. No matter what kind of design you have, if you don't have the workers and the tools to begin banging out the submarine, it's going to take a long time. And we'll learn more about that later on. I don't know anything about the UK's infrastructure. I have a hard time just keeping up with our own. Hot rock make prop go round. That's right, Sally. Or Salty, rather. Salty knows. I'm wearing my glasses and I still got his name wrong. Yep. What do you guys think? Any last minute ideas? India might want in on AUKUS. Yeah, I don't know. India's kind of on the fence, right? India wants to do their own thing, which, more power to them. But India has a hard time innovating new ideas. For instance, India is building another aircraft carrier, but they're not building a new design. They actually took the design of their previous aircraft carrier that's getting very old, and they're just going to build another one. So that seems to be a theme with India, is they love copying, almost like the Chinese do, but in their case, they lease their stuff historically from Russia and then kind of copy those ideas. So we'll see what India does. Yeah. Let's see here. Mike with another super chat says, was there any mention of the VA or Virginia class being led by EB or Huntington? Oh, yeah. They did not get into the American shipyards. They just said that we are selling them 3. And between those 2 shipyards, we're paying to build 3 a year. So hopefully we do get 3 a year. I assume that third one, that extra for a couple years, is going to be the one we sell to Australia. And I don't know which shipyard is going to be building them. It might be one from each, right? It could be that. They didn't get into any details. But this is really good stuff. This is really good information. I'm glad they finally made a decision and then made it public. I think that's really good. I can't wait for the next update, because I want to know more about UK infrastructure. What is the timeline on this SSN AUKUS? How soon can they start cutting metal on this? Because even after they start cutting metal, it's going to be a while before it's done. Hull 1 is always the hardest, and then that has to go through pier side and sea trials testing. It's going to be a long road. I think we really need to focus on, let's just get them the 3 Virginias now. Let's get that done now. You know what? And make it like block 3 or 4. It doesn't have to be the newest block 5. They don't need that. Yep. Oh no. Is somebody disrupting chat? Yeah. All right. Listen, you guys be good in chat, okay? All right, guys. Yeah, look, I don't want to waste any more of your time. These are the facts. I'll edit this into a short video, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey, if you want to support the project, head over to Patreon/subbrief. You can give me $1 over there. I'd appreciate it. Okay. Buy some new lights. This one's about to go. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye. Bye-bye. I didn't record any of that.